Well, I certainly missed a good opportunity here, didn't I? Normally, these types of videos are about predicting a potential moveset for a character to get in Smash, along with as many little details as possible. I had planned to do one for the Baron Bird since before E3 2019, but I had to finish the Sora moveset video, and then we got the trailer. Oh, please. Ah! It's them! It's them! And since I wasn't ready to record a conversation until the day before the Direct was announced, I just decided to turn this into a prediction versus what we got sort of thing. Didn't want it all to go to waste this time. I mean, just look at the mock-ups I did. I just wanted to see how close I could get. Yeah! There's them! Are you gonna do the same thing again? You! These are still great t-shirts. To make this video as quick and clear as possible, I'm going to list what I predicted versus what we got, and try to give a little explanation about some of the moves that might not make sense. We'll start with the neutrals. Claw Swipe was kind of a given to many of us speculating on Banjo's moves, but I wasn't expecting the Rapid Attack to be there with the Rat-A-Tat Rap. That was a nice little bonus. Tilt I actually thought would be Brigo Bash. Obviously that became the forward smash, which actually does make a lot more sense upon retrospect. Forward roll is forward roll for the dash. I mean, that was like another one of those, duh, it had to be those. Although I will say I was a bit confused when I saw the trailer at the end where Banjo ran away from Ivysaur that was trying to be Slumber. Oh, the Snaker thing, yeah! Yeah, I couldn't remember the name during the trailers, but I just remembered that part of the Jiggy where you had to like sneak up and take it. During that part, it looked like Banjo was running, and it didn't look like Kazooie came out, but Transform987 on Twitter did point out that Kazooie does come out near the last of the frames, so Talent Trot was the run animation, so yes, forward roll could still be the dash attack. Down tilt, I thought would be like a wing swipe sort of thing, where Kazooie just like swings her wing down on the ground to try to trip them or something. It's Beak Barge. I had Beak Barge for another move, and we'll get there later. And up, I figured would be kind of like a double uppercut sort of thing, where it's like Banjo hits them and then Kazooie hits them. Or Banjo would use like the backpack whack attack that he has from Banjo-Tooie. Every time I failed to come up with a move, I would always just fall back on the backpack whack. I don't know why, it was just like, it was something Banjo usually did on his own. But I had to keep in mind that the mindset for this, whenever you couldn't come up with something, was to remember what their defining feature is, and it's for them to work together. So it does make sense that the up tilt is Kazooie lifts and Banjo kicks. By the way, when you see the little asterisk by the name, it's just the nickname I've given it. It's not official. And now we'll go on to the shorter category of smash attacks. For the up one, this one I really had to stretch for. I was thinking wing stroke. You know, when Kazooie swims, how she puts the wings out and then just swims forward. I was thinking maybe that could work. She puts her wings upwards and then launches them with a peck attack. Instead, they decided to adapt the drill built to up smash, which I did have listed, but for a different move later on, which that's going to be a running theme here. Down smash, I was thinking wing whack. It just seemed like that would have been like an easy fit, but no, once again, that goes to another move. Instead, we get wing slam. Yes, just another name I came up with because what would you call this? Forward smash, before we saw the trailer, I was thinking, once again, pack whack, because I'm that unoriginal when it comes to trying to come up with new moves, although I thought wing stroke would have been a decent idea, maybe even for up tilt. Now we're going to move on to aerials. My neutral's kind of a little difficult to explain. Basically, Kazooie kind of like wraps herself around Banjo and then spreads her wings out real quickly. Instead, we got wing whack, which I thought would be down smash as mentioned earlier. Instead, it works kind of like Piranha Plant's neutral air, so not a bad fit. Forward, I always thought would be the Rat-A-Tat Rap that you learn at Spyro Mountain, which is not even close. Well, okay, kind of. It's in the aerial slot anyway. Instead, we get a punch that's somewhat similar to Dr. Mario and Ganondorf's, just a little bit less power, but it can still kill. Back aerial, once again, pack whack, because I mean, obviously this move never showed up anywhere in their moves, so anytime you see this, just laugh. Laugh at my bad guess. Instead, this is where we get the reverse Rat-A-Tat Rap. Up when it was just a peck attack. Yeah, I'm so creative. Instead, we get Wing Cross, which, not gonna lie, I think this is probably the one, or at least one of the weakest up aerials in the game. You can combo with this into itself a number of times, but I never expect this thing to kill. Let's put it that way. Down aerial, finally I get something right, but only because it just fits so well. The Beak Buster that you learn in Mumbo's Mountain. This one, if you didn't get this one right, what were you doing? I think maybe a few years ago, or like maybe 10 years ago, maybe I had this one as the down special, but once I gave it a lot more thought recently, I was like, no, that can't be right. No. Grabs is where I got the attack right, and maybe the up throw. Possibly even the back throw if we really want to just be like, sure. But yeah, this one was kind of hard to get. Banjo grabs and Kazooie pecks, which, okay, yeah, that just felt like it was going to be a natural thing. It just felt like another, like, duck hunt thing, but it's hard to argue when it works. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, so I'm sorry. Forward, I was thinking Banjo was going to throw them like he would throw an item in the game, but no, it's Kazooie kicks them away using both of her legs. I kind of wish that they give her the swamp boots or whatever they were that you learned in Bubblegloop Swamp, just to really nail it in there that she gives them the boot. But I guess not a whole lot of people would have understood that, so okay. Up, Banjo lifts them up and Kazooie pecks them away. Pretty close to what I had. You can't really get more descriptive than that. I thought down would have been the drill bill. Nope, instead it's another burying move, which, are we going to give all the rare characters a down burying move now? That's crazy. I'm not going to argue. I love it. It's just, I'm not sure how other people are going to take it. Back throw, just that. I thought it was going to be like a back throw, just throws them behind him. Instead, it's a spin throw, kind of like Mario's. So, okay. Specials is where I was like, please let me get just one! Okay, I did. I got egg firing, although it can become Brigo Blaster, and when I saw that in the trailer, I was thinking, hey, maybe this could be a mechanic of its own, where, you know, it's B to do the egg firing, hold B and then push forward, and you'll do the Brigo Blaster, hold B and push reverse, and you'll do the grenade egg. But as many of you had already speculated on, that was not the case. I just thought that would have been an interesting mechanic, and that would have given us an extra move, but oh well, it's still pretty fun. The side B, this is where I had Beak Barge instead of the down tilt. Nope, we got Wonder Wing, which I thought would be the down special, and I can't wait to get into that one. But before I do, let me just say, I thought the up special would be the Beak Bomb that you learn in Freeze Easy Peak, where you just like jut ahead and then you kind of fall. Think of it kind of like Ridley's, where you go really fast with a lot of protection and then you just drop like a rock. That's what I was expecting the Beak Bomb to be, but we got Spring Pad, which, once again, is something I'm not going to argue against. It still works. It's something that doesn't feel like they had to really stretch for it. It just, I can't really think of a good way to say it just works. But let me talk about Wonder Wing and my version of it compared to what we got and the speculation I had on it. I'll try to make this one quick. I thought Wonder Wing was going to be like a counter/reflector sort of thing. I never would have expected them to go and just give him the full-on invincibility with item usage. That was just, wow, thank you. That really does help Banjo Kazooie stand out from all the other characters by having a move that basically grants them invincibility. And it's not like it just came out of nowhere. It is legitimate in the game. You learned this in Clanker's Cavern. I was thinking when I saw the trailer, yeah, we all saw the gold feathers, but I was wondering, do they respawn? Like, how do you get another gold feather back? Are they gonna give you like a gold feather every minute? Nope, you're only allowed 5 every stock. Wow. Which, based on all the people I've been playing against online that love to spam the side B, I'm grateful that they can only use it 5 times per stock. And you can block it, you can grab them, and if you're playing as Pac-Man, you can stop them in their tracks with the trampoline. To me, it is balanced. You just have to be ready for it, especially when they're going to try and get back on stage, or if they think that they have an opening. You just got to watch out for it. It gets annoying. I try not to use it so that way they don't see when I'm going to use it. There are a few little things on there, though. For one thing, if you go into sudden death, you always get 1 gold feather. But once you use it, that's it. So please use it wisely. Also in stamina, your gold feathers, you'll actually get more or less depending on the amount of stamina you have, which is kind of cool that they set it up for that. For the final smash, I didn't need to do one of these special background cards. Gingenator Final Smash! Yeah, called it! Called it! Called it! I had called that Final Smash almost 11 years ago in a video I'd rather not bring up because of how terribly outdated and embarrassingly bad it is. But for some reason, I always just felt like the impact of what the the mighty Gingenator had done in the final boss fight with Gruntilda. Sorry, got my words mixed up there. I just wasn't sure how it was going to activate. I was thinking like King K. Rool's, well, they would charge forward and knock him onto Gruntilda's tower, but nope, you just summon him out of the ground. And before we move on to the other little details, I did want to bring up some of the animations like you just saw there with the final smash. And even though this was pointed out in the direct, this was also shown in the trailer where Banjo does the flip-flap for his backwards animation jump. I've also noticed that when Banjo Kazooie hit the ground, they kind of look like they're dead animation in the game. Just kind of interesting. Also, the parry looks like Banjo's replicating the Golden Banjo 1-up statue, which I thought was a pretty nice little detail. I really couldn't picture what the screen KO was going to look like. I thought maybe Banjo would hit the screen with one eye open and go, ah! That was not the case. I couldn't really think of what they were going to do for Kirby's hat. Like, how were they going to replicate the eggs coming out? Was it going to come out of Kirby? No, we get blessed with one of the most precious things that Sakurai's ever given us. A Kirby with a Kazooie plushie. God bless you, Sakurai and team. We don't deserve something this adorable. Now, when it came to the taunts, I actually didn't have anything listed before the E3 2019 Direct. So, it was kind of interesting to see all the taunts already being laid out. I thought the up taunt would be the idle animation, but I was wrong. The side taunt is the one where they pose at each other. I don't think that's from a game, but I love it. And the down taunt is where Banjo takes a bow. This pose is usually done when he gets all 10 Jiggies in a world, or when he clears a music note door. As for the stage itself, Spyro Mountain, well, there weren't many other picks that we could have gone with. This just seemed like the most iconic one to go with, although I always did kind of like the idea of either Treasure Trove Cove, Gruntilda's Tower, or the Gruntilda Tower Tour, which would have been interesting, but nope, we got Spyro Mountain, and I love what they've done with it. The trailer kind of made it look great, but it didn't look like it had any life to it, and it looked flat. Thankfully, the presentation showed us all the characters running around, all the little details like the honeycombs and the Banjo statue 1-up trophies, and just all the characters in the background. Even if they're not on the foreground background, they're in the background. Tootie running around, Mumbo Jumbo juggling his eyes, Bottles just popping up Gruntilda on the Hunter Broomstick, the Jinjos flying around, and the Buzz Bombers, which, if you're kind of confused as to why the enemy in particular, well, they said it themselves, they just hover around. It's also one of the first characters you see when you start up the first game. Seeing all these characters and seeing all the platforms just move around, and the whole stage itself just rotate with more platforms coming in and changing in the bridge, it just helps this make it feel like it's one of the most living, breathing stages in the entire game. You have to admire that. And before I forget, their intro. I was thinking maybe they would sparkle in like they do in Banjo Kazooie, or pop out one of Gem Jar's transportation holes, or just to be really silly, they could recapture the Banjo Tooie commercial where Banjo just fell to the ground. Instead, we get the jiggy transition with Banjo coming out and taking the bow like we had just seen earlier. Which is not the last time we're going to see that pose either. But now let's go back to how I was previously doing this by showing you predictions versus what we got, and then in the next one after this one, it's going to be full-on predictions / what I hoped for. When it came to the Punch-Out banner, I was very, very disappointed that they just went with such a lazy approach. Laid-back animals? I mean, that's all you could really think of? I had two for this. The Bear and Bird duo, not that special, I know. But the next one, oh, now you're going to see why I was so disappointed. This one I put a rare friendship. If you can find me a more symbolic one than that one besides using the word dream, let me know. As for their idle animations, well, I only had one listed because I wasn't sure if Banjo flexing was one of them. So for the only one I was able to put down was Kazooie pegs Banjo on the head just like in the game. And if you turn up the volume, you can actually hear the sound effect. I didn't hear it at first, but it's there. It's very low, so I raised the volume times 20. The other one is where Kazooie looks around, which is also from the game, but they put a lot more animation and polish into it. When it came to their free fall, I was kind of hoping it would be them spinning around, to replicate the whole long fall that they do in the games. Nope. They just kind of take the generic one. As for the Star KO, I was really, really hoping that they would do the fall yell. I was not disappointed. While I didn't have any luck trying to come up with some taunts, I was able to come up with some victory poses, and I nailed 2 out of 3 of them. Although to be fair, they were pretty easy to pin down. The first one was the Jiggy Dance, and not only did I get that one right, but Banjo even says... The next one, they play their instruments. I just felt like after seeing the trailer and the opening sequence, they had to do this. It was gonna be in there somewhere. The next one was, and this is the one I got wrong. I kinda wish they did this, because we've already seen him do the bow a couple times, but hear me out on this one. He plays a Game Boy and gives a thumbs up to the screen like he does in the menu screen when you play his game. Instead, it's the dance when they get all 10 Jiggies or open a music note door. It's not a bad pick, but at this point he's already done the same thing 3 times. It gets a little repetitive at that point. And while I'm on a similar topic, the Victory Jingle. It was either going to be the Jiggy Dance, or when you get all 10 Jiggies and clear a music note door. It was the Jiggy Dance. Oh, and since I didn't have anywhere else to put this in there, the losing animation. I thought Banjo would clap and Kazooie would look upset. Nope, Kazooie's taking it like a champ. Music is kinda hard to pin down, but I really wanted to give it a shot here. If I were to pick any music tracks I'd want remixed in Smash, I'd want these. Although I did forget to put the main theme remix on here, but I'm so glad they had that covered. What I was hoping for was Treasure Trove Cove, Bubble Gloop Swamp, Freezy Peak, the Gruntilda Battle, Jinjo Village, Mr. Patches, and Fun and Games. One of those got remixed, and 2 of them got included. So, we'll call that a win. Though I'm very, very surprised that they put in the boss who should not be named because I don't want demonetization. Also, when you look at it, the only tracks that they included from Banjo-Tooie were the boss fight themes. And I'm not gonna lie here, I'm not entirely surprised. I'm in the camp that didn't really have a lot of favorite music tracks from Tooie, though I could pull out some of them. Though I was surprised that they didn't even try to do like a Glitter Gulch Mine remix or a Mayan Mayhem remix. Oh well. Oh, the classic mode. Oh, it's another kind of wasted opportunity in my eyes. So, as many of you have already noticed, we got the perfect partner system. And yes, it's kind of funny that the first one you pick is Duck Hunt using the alt that closely resembles Banjo Kazooie themselves. And it's on Spiral Mountain. And I do like the fact that they try to mix the stages with the music like they normally do, but Treasure Trove Cove with a level that actually has a shark in it, and Freezy Peak on a giant, well, the iceberg stage? Man Monster Mansion with Fox and Falco trying to be monsters. It's good! As for the ones I wanted, well, I was kind of hoping that they would go a little bit more clever. I had N64 Reunion, Mario, DK and Diddy, Kirby and King Dedede, Fox and Falco, Young Link and Ganondorf, Pikachu, and 7 Yoshis. And then for the boss, Master Hands, or the speculated Gruntilda boss, which didn't happen. My other idea was collecting masters, because we all know Banjo-Kazooie basically started the whole collect-a-thon thing. So we had Mario and Wario because they collect stuff in their games too, right? Sonic, rings, Pac-Man, pellets, Villager, everything. Pokemon Trainer, gotta catch 'em all. DK and Diddy, DK64, enough said. Olimar and Alf Alt, because you gotta collect everything that's on the planet. And of course, Master Hand, because why not? Or Ganondorf, he's trying to get the Triforce. Or the speculated Gruntilda boss, which once again didn't happen. The whole reason I was disappointed with what they went with was because they kind of already did the whole friendship partner thing already, and it just feels, once again, kind of repetitive. Getting closer to the end, and this next part is actually a 2-parter. The Spirit Battles. Now, the first part kind of deals with the ones that we did get, but I had different assumptions and predictions for them. Mumbo Jumbo, Gruntilda, Jinjos, and Tootie. Well, 3 of them I put in some effort in. Tootie, on the other hand, well, all I could think of was Isabelle. I couldn't think of anything else. For Mumbo Jumbo, I was going to say Red Alt Male Robin with Star Rod, Lightning Bolts frequently appear. That way it would seem like it's the whole transformation sort of thing that Mumbo Jumbo does in the games. And Robin being Mumbo Jumbo because of the whole magic thing. Instead, we got a gold Skull Kid Mii Sword Fighter costume who summons a gold giant Rob. Now, that one caught me completely by surprise, but I loved it because I knew what they were doing, and I think a lot of the Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie fans knew this as well. This is referencing the giant gold statue that Mumbo Jumbo summons in Banjo-Tooie's Mayan Mayhem, which is kind of funny because that was probably the most enjoyable time you were playing as Mumbo Jumbo in Banjo-Tooie. and you weren't really even playing as him. Mumbo Jumbo sucks in Banjo Tooie if you didn't catch on to that. It was just like a gimmick that didn't work. Gruntilda, green alt Bayonetta because which, but I did have it listed that she would have Klungo, but it would be a green alt DK. I was kind of surprised by the Dr. Mario, but he does throw potions and he does dress up like a doctor, so can't argue with that one. For Gruntilda, we got a giant Green King DDD with 3 Dr. Marios in green alts that are trying to be Klungo. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that there are in fact 3 Klungo fights in Banjo Tooie, so that's what they're trying to represent. Also, it's another stamina battle, which almost every spirit battle that they came with for Banjo Kazooie is I think they're all stamina battles. Also, the floor is poison, and I believe that is trying to replicate the fact that the, the Hag 1 actually released some toxic gas near the end of the final battle. So, that actually just dawned on me near the very last moments of editing this video. Jinjos, ooh, kinda close on this one. 5 different colored Yoshis or Kirbys, I couldn't pick which one. Giant blue one to be the Jinjonator. Instead, it's 4 Mr. Game & Watches, I don't know why it's 4 instead of 5. There is a giant blue one that's supposed to be the mighty Jinjonator, and they all do damage by running. I guess that's supposed to reflect not only the final smash, but also once you've released a Jinjo in the Gruntilda boss fight, they charge right at Gruntilda, so there's your connection right there. Oh, and I guess this one isn't a stamina battle, and the next one isn't. Like I said earlier, I didn't really have anything for 2D besides Isabelle, and I didn't even have it listed on my Twitter thing. I just felt like, if you can't flesh it out, don't put it up there. Instead, 2D is played by a Dixie old Diddy Kong, who shields often, waits for Banjo to appear, and isn't affected by magic as much, which I thought was kind of interesting because I normally point out that Gruntilda is using a machine to steal 2D's beauty instead of using some magic potion or spell. I guess I wasn't the only one that picked up on that. Now for part 2, I wanted to show off the characters I had listed, and then we'll go over the ones that we did end up getting instead. I do feel like there's some missed opportunity here with some of these characters' spirit battles, so I hope you guys get a good chuckle out of these. Snacker, Purple Greninja, enemy suddenly becomes invisible. I don't think I need to really explain that one. Although if I were to look back on that one, I would also say increased attack power. Konga, giant dark alt DK, prefers throwing items. How could this not have been? Okay, it would have been the same thing as the Bottles alt costume, but come on, it just matches. And to rhyme with that, Mr. Patches, giant crafty Yoshi alt, prefers using up special. If you had the music track, why didn't you try this one? Okay, I understand why. You wanted to use the spirit battles of characters that you actually recreated in Smash, I get that. But nobody would have complained with a few more, especially some fan favorites. You kind of acknowledged that already when you put his boss fight theme in here. Can you honestly tell me that you couldn't picture this on, say, the New Pork City stage? You know, at least the Omega Form version? That's kind of a wasted opportunity. And the next one kind of is as well, but I don't think many people would have minded. Old King Cole, giant dark alt King K. Rool. The floor is lava. If you're watching the screen, I don't think I need to say anymore. Maybe this could have been a stamina battle. Yeah, this could have been a stamina battle. In fact, Mr. Patches could have been a stamina battle as well. You know, boss fights and all. Which brings me to my final spirit battle. Canary Mary. Golden Falco. Enemy suddenly gets faster. Ooh, how many of you just got thumb cramps thinking about that one? And just for the heck of it, let's put a time limit on that one. As for the last 3 spirit battles that we got, well, we did get a Bottles one that was, as mentioned earlier, it was the Dark Alt DK that likes to bury opponents using the side B because, you know, bury. He becomes invisible, and I think that's because you're supposed to go searching for him when you're trying to learn the moves in the game. And he's easily distracted by items because he teaches you how to use some items too. That one felt like a bit of a stretch that you really had to try and find the meaning of. The Buzz Bombers, well, there's 3 of them. They're tiny yellow Ridleys. They're not that hard to defeat, so that one's pretty easy. Also, they fall slowly because of the whole hover thing. And then there were the Jiggies, the golden Kirbys that just kind of floated around. It was a stamina battle, and you had to defeat them all within a certain time limit, which made it feel like one of the mini-games. So, okay, I kind of liked that one. I barely beat it on my first try, but whew, I could appreciate what they were doing. And oh boy, what about this one? The Mii Fighter costumes I predicted, not a single one of them turned out to be true. Wow! How did we not get any of these? How did we not get any kind of extra stuff for this? I'd like to know the reasoning for that one. I had Cuphead for Gunner, Minecraft Steve for Sword, Conker for Brawler, Battletoads for Brawler, Master Chief for Gunner. It felt like an obligation. I didn't believe it, I just felt like you had to put it there. Mumbo for Sword, Gruntilda for Sword, Broomstick, Bottles for Brawler, and a Jinjo Cap for all. The Jinjo Cap. I'm surprised they didn't do that one. They did it with the slime. And they did it with Morgana. Why not the Jinjo? Instead, we got 5 costumes, 2 of them returning. The first one was the Mystical Ninja Goemon, which I didn't even consider that one. That's a Konami brand, right? That's Konami IP? Can we please get the Mii costume for Power Man? I'm begging you! Next was the return of Proto Man and the return of Zero. I'm kind of wondering where the Mega Man EXE one is, but okay. They gave us the Team Rocket outfit, which is... I didn't even think you were ever going to be able to give us anything for Pokemon, but that was just pure genius. And then the last one. I have to share my reaction for this one because I did record that. What? Yeah! I am not upset about this in the slightest. I have played Undertale. I think this is the best Mii costume by far because it actually covers the entire character. We got a new remix that came with him, and if I could be honest, I want to see a Frisk Mii costume and hope that there's a Hopes and Dreams and Save the World remix that goes with it. Oh, that would be so amazing. Now, I normally don't do color alts because, like with animations on certain characters and certain attacks, like the get up from the ledge, these can be really hard to nail down. But since the game's already out, I actually wanted to go a different route and actually try and explain some of them, because there were some of them that had some real nice touches to them. Now, I'm not entirely sure about these, but I do have some of my guesses for most of them. Color 2, I think is trying to be based on Mumbo Jumbo's pink skin. Color 3 looks like Bottles as well as Conga. Color 4 is the only one I couldn't figure out, and if you have any idea, please let me know in the comments. My closest guess is it could be Tooty because it's the only spirit form that doesn't really have an alt. Color 5, I believe, is based on Bogey from Freeze Easy Peak and Hailfire Peak's Icy Side. Color 6 is either based on a Buzz Bomb or more likely a Gold Jiggy. Color 7, my best guess is Ginginator. That's the only character I can really think of in the game that's blue. Not counting Snacker. And number 8 made me laugh so hard. At first I thought it was like a zombie sort of thing. I'm like, why is there a zombie Banjo? But upon closer inspection, it's definitely based on Gruntilda. The colors are a near perfect match, and if you take a look at Banjo's shorts, the color scheme and pattern are nearly identical, if not completely identical, to Gruntilda's scarf. None of the other Banjo short alts have a pattern on them. Gotta love those little details. Finally, I can end this episode! Oh wait, that's my intro tag. Here's the one that they did. Now, thanks to Smash getting some more DLC in the future, I can keep this series going. I'm just not sure how many more of them I'm gonna do, but I have an idea of what I'm gonna do for the next one. I'm gonna have you guys vote on who it should be, but don't vote in the comments, I won't be counting them. Do it on either the community channel tab that you'll see on my channel, obviously, or the little poll I'm gonna have on Twitter. And the votes will be between Shantae and Gino. Let the fan favorite battles commence! And with that, I'll see you soon in another video. Probably not gonna be another A New Foe Has Appeared video. Definitely gotta get the other videos that I promised to do done. So with all that said, I'll see you guys with whatever gets done next. Later, everyone. Woohoo!